I left the city, I've been browsing, treading water that they drowning. I head on the swivel, yeah. It's only really my surroundings. They keep it all the way 1,000.
Hey everybody, it's Zach, aka Zach's Reviews. We are back again with another video. And guys, I just got done with episode 2 of Marvel's What If. And guys, and I'm rocking my, Black Panther shirt. In this episode we see the question of what if T'Challa, aka Black Panther, was abducted and he became Star-Lord. This episode, by far of the What If series, was my favorite episode. For multiple reasons. This episode showed me how much I miss Chadwick Boseman, and showed me how it showed me even more how special he was as a person and as a man. He literally, it showed me that the world really lost a really special person, and it showed me how much I missed him playing Black Panther. It also helped me. It made me feel multiple emotions. It made me feel that it made me feel how much I miss Chadwick Boseman. It made me feel how much I miss Black Panther. It made me feel how much I miss his presence and his heart and his showing, and it makes me miss how much I realized how much even more of his dedication he was, how dedicated he was to playing the role of Black Panther, and how much he knew it meant to black people, and also to how much it meant to boys and girls to see someone and say, oh, he looks like me, and how much that character meant to the world. And it made me also be able to put, it was a really good conclusion to that character in a way. And I'm really, really happy of that Marvel came up with this series. And I'm so happy that, it wasn't his last time we saw him in, Endgame. We got to really see him again in a story, and see that character again, and see him play that character one last time in this show. And I'm super, super happy that they were able to come up with this show before he died, and so he could give his last, his last performance, because I needed this. I needed something from what I needed something to really tie the knot and to really make me be able to put him to rest. And this was just a perfect episode. It was so good. Seeing also him become Star-Lord and all the funny things that in the beginning of the episode, we see him, being Star-Lord, and him coming across the guy that says, when Star-Lord says, I'm Star-Lord, and he's like, who? So seeing him again, I forget the guy that plays that character, but seeing him again, and by him knowing who Star-Lord is, and him praising him, saying, oh, I'm a big fan. Oh, are you looking for new recruits? Oh, what are you guys doing? Do you know who this is? It's the legendary, Star-Lord. And it was just made me think that this show, if anything, this episode really shows us the question, what if? Because it's Peter Quill never got that respect when, he told everybody who, I'm Star-Lord, and no one knew who he was. But when, King T'Challa is, he takes the name of Star-Lord, he becomes Star-Lord, people know who he is because they respect him across the universe, and knows that, he gives, he takes from the rich, gives to the poor. And, he's just pretty much, he's like Robin Hood. It's funny because there's a scene where, Yondu's you're like that one guy that, whatever. And they're like Robin Hood. And it was just so funny that, if T'Challa was Star-Lord, he would get to expect across the universe. But with Peter Quill, he never got that respect. No one ever knew who he was. And seeing that, he really changed everybody in the universe. We see Taserface as a part of the Ravengers, and he's he's not the bad guy. We end up seeing that Thanos is good because T'Challa talked to him and made him see a different way to make change across the universe without going to literally doing genocide. And it was so funny because he's we see the moment where we see Thanos, and he's it was funny because he's he says he says, oh yeah, he made me see a different way, even though, genocide, like, it wasn't too bad or whatever. And they're all at the table like, oh my God, I can't believe you think it's not bad. What you were going to do wasn't bad. And he's like, oh, it was a unique route, but it would have worked. And it just seems so funny to me that, he changed people. And and that makes sense because T'Challa was always the person that never wanted to, even in Black Panther, wanted everybody to know that they could help and could change and, it can change the world and didn't want to be closed off from the rest of the world and wanted to help and give them their resources to help make the world better. And it's like he did that, but universally he did that, across the universe. He changed people. He changed Thanos. The Mad Titan that wanted to collect the Infinity Stones and wanted to make mass genocide, he changed him. And that goes to show of, like, again, hand in hand, how Chadwick was playing this role of Black Panther, like, how Black Panther could change the world and, he cared about, like, and, anybody that met, T'Challa, could feel off of it, could feed off of his energy of, like, how good he was as a person, how he could change people. And, like, that same as how Chadwick Boseman was. Like, when anybody that met Chadwick Boseman, like, felt that way of, like, you make me want to change the world. You make me want to be a better person. You make me want to do better things and just, help, the world out. Like, Chadwick Boseman was Black Panther. And I'm just so happy that, we just couldn't have gotten a better Black Panther. He was Black Panther. He was my Black Panther. He was our Black Panther. And they really show us that even if he's not Black Panther in the show and he ends up being Star-Lord, he still is Black Panther. And that it's like it ponders the question, what if? This episode really showed us what if. Like, if T'Challa became Star-Lord, he would be changing the universe. He would make the Ravengers be good and, steal from the rich, give to the poor. He would make Thanos become good. He would prevent Thanos from hurting Nebula, and Nebula is fine. She has two of her eyes. She has hair. She was never tortured. So she was just how she would have been before she got tortured and got robot parts on her and was, and had a traumatizing, story to her, like a past to her. Like, she was just fine. She was a Nebula that we didn't know. But it was so cool to see that Nebula that was, that called, it was funny because she called, T'Challa Cha-Cha, it was cool to see that because, we see some of, like, a love, like, I don't know if it was it was almost like a love interest in a way, like they had something there, and they really cared about each other. We really saw that, and it was really cool. It might have been just, mutual respect for one another, but you could really see that they really cared about each other, and that it could have been a love interest and stuff. And I don't think this is the last we're gonna see of this Black Panther with Chadwick Boseman playing that voice, because I think he's going to be in a couple more episodes of this series of What If. So I'm excited to see more of him playing Star-Lord and where that could lead in different stories and What If of this season, because unfortunately he only did this season before his passing. So I'm just happy we got this, and this is what we needed. We needed, because sometimes we could. Sometimes, we say to ourselves, it was cool that we got him in Endgame, but, it felt like there was something missing, when he passed, and this is what I needed to really tie the knot and really, put him to rest. They really, that really, was able to, he finished what he was here to do. And, it really made me be able to put him to rest, even though, I miss him still to this day. And we can really, and watching this episode really showed us the presence that's missing in the MCU, the heart that's missing. And it made me sad, but it made me happy just to see and hear his voice again. It just really made me happy. And it was super funny. That just seeing how, they respected, T'Challa, even though he was playing, even though, he was Star-Lord, they were respecting him, but it goes to show that that Peter Quill literally is a goober, and is, how he is, and he gets no respect. It really shows the difference. It shows us What If. And I just really felt the essence of what if in the story that they were trying to tell, that, you know, if T'Challa became Star-Lord, the universe would change. He had that, you know, that change on Earth when he opened the borders of Wakanda and he was, you know, making change. It showed that, but we really got to see him, like, we didn't have the father figure to, like, keep the borders closed when he was up in space. So he was able just to change things, and look how great the universe was because of him. Look at all the things he changed. Look at all the people he changed. He changed the Ravengers. He changed the, you know, Thanos. He prevented Thanos from hurting people. He prevented Thanos from doing, you know, mass genocide. He prevented Thanos from, making the making his group of, you know, with, you know, Corvus Glaive, Cull Obsidian, Ebony Maw, Proxima Midnight. He didn't make that group, even though they're still there, and the group actually works for the worst of the worst, which the worst of the worst in the universe, since Thanos isn't the worst of the worst anymore, is the Collector, and he has, you know, Corvus Glaive, Cull Obsidian, Ebony Maw, and Proxima Midnight as his guards of his collection room and protecting him, even though he has, like, and there was Easter eggs to, like, Cap Shield was in this, and, like, they had it was cool. They had I'm forgetting Hela's helmet that she was able, like, when she was able to, like, produce weapons. He had that in his collection room. We saw Malekith, I think, in one of the glass cases. We saw, of course, Howard the Duck, and there was just a lot of cool Easter eggs and, like, a lot of cool, questions of what if. And out of the two episodes of Captain Carter episode in this episode, if anything, showed us more of the question of what if this happened. I felt it more in this episode than in the Captain Carter episode, because even, like, it's not much of a different story in a way. I mean, it is, but, like, I didn't really feel the presence of what if in that episode more than I felt in this episode. Like, I really felt it in this episode. We really saw change in this episode, but I still love the Captain Carter episode, but I love this episode more. But literally, guys, I loved episode 2 of, Marvel's What If. By far, this is my favorite episode. It showed me even more how much I miss Chadwick Boseman and how much I miss him playing Black Panther, and it shows us even more than what we already knew, that this is his character. And I'm so happy Marvel is not going to recast, is not going to have anybody else be Black Panther as far as we know. But I still think that Shuri will take over at some point as Black Panther, but I'm just so happy that they're not going to recast Black Panther. And I'm super, super happy that even, everybody that has, Kevin and everybody that works at Marvel realizes that Chadwick Boseman is Black Panther and nobody else can take that role because he is Black Panther. So, rest in peace, my king. Rest in peace, T'Challa. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. You will be missed, and I'm just so happy that you got to do this series before before your passing, because it shows me this episode showed me how much I miss Chadwick Boseman, how much I miss him playing T'Challa, and this is what we needed as Marvel fans to really, in a way, embrace him. And also and also in a way, be able to put him to rest and be like, he did his final works here on this earth, and he just he was just he did his final thing that he was meant to do on this earth before his passing. That's what I can take from this, and I want to know down in the comments below if you guys understand what I'm saying. And I literally cried when I called my sister after this episode, especially the ending of this episode where it said, it said, like, I think it said, like, dedicated to our friend, our hero, and our inspiration, and that's so true. That, like, Chadwick Boseman meant a lot to me as a black man of not having many heroes that I could look up to when I was younger, And like it could even look up to really even like before, you know, Black Panther hit on the screen. That was the first character that showed us that especially my little brothers and my little sisters, that you can be a hero too. And I owe him a lot. You know, we all owe him a lot that, you know, he did that. Same with Anthony Mackie, him becoming Captain America. It really shows little, you know, like, you know, black kids that, you know, we can be heroes too. Same out, Shang-Chi in The Legend of the Ten Rings is going to do that as well. And I'm just so happy that these characters are coming to be, and these awesome actors are taking these roles and becoming these characters and inspiring kids around the globe that you can be a hero too. And that's the message that they're putting out there, which I'm so glad that change is happening and we can see it. But guys, that was my review of episode 2 of Marvel's What If. I want to know what you guys have to say down in the comments below of what you guys thought about this episode. Let me know if you guys feel the way I'm feeling about hearing Chadwick Boseman's voice again, seeing him play, you know, Black Panther and T'Challa, aka Star-Lord, in this episode. And let me know, do you guys feel more of a what if presence in this episode? More in this episode, more than, you know, Captain Carter, because I felt it more in this episode than Captain Carter. I would still like Captain Carter, but I would definitely put this episode above the Captain Carter episode. But guys, I really want to know what you guys have to say down in the comments below. Again, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, put on those notifications, like this video. I would love to have you guys here, part of this family here on this channel. We're growing each and every day. We're making moves. We're making strides. You know, we're changing the world. Literally, we're at 361 right now. We're almost to 400 subs. My goal is to get to 400, and I know we can do it. So yet again, please join this family here on this channel. Again, subscribe to the channel, put on those notifications, like this video. And without further ado, guys, I'm going to end this video here. I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.